Hello, I'm Sharon Taylor, founder and CEO of the Business Vision and Development Center. Let's chat. So, what's the tea? We're talking, that's good. Talking all things business. But specifically, I want to talk to you about why I do what I do. Many people have asked me, how did I get started? What is it that drove me to do what I do? And so I'm going to share my story with you. We all have our story of why we do what we do and when we did it. But mine started many years ago when I was a little girl in the basement playing with a chalkboard and some chalk and some fake students. And so I knew I wanted to be an educator. I wanted to be a teacher. The subject matter didn't come until much later in life. Somehow I was introduced to entrepreneurship, or either maybe it was instilled in me long before I even realized it was there. But I decided I was going to teach entrepreneurship. And I got my bachelor's in business, and I said, I want to share my knowledge with others who want to start their own business. And I don't want to say happenstance or luck, but the universe and God placed me at the Small Business Administration. And while at the Small Business Administration, I just loved its mission. But what I found was that my peers on the outside of the federal government weren't quite able to navigate the systems, the paperwork, the bureaucracy at a federal level, but they couldn't do it at a local level either. So when I started at the Small Business Administration, when people asked me where I worked, and I would tell them at SBA, everybody would say, hey, I want to start my own business. And that's typically the way the conversation goes, even to today. And like I said, I started there in 1993. So I said to them, let's start with a business plan, because that was the thing back then. Get a business plan. It still is a integral part of your business foundation. So that hasn't changed. So I would do their business plan and we would talk about it. And, there are several components to the plan. And as I did their business plan, I found that most people weren't interested in what was in the plan. They just wanted me to do it, hand it off to them, and off they would go. But what they soon realized is that when they needed funding for their business and had to present their plan, they didn't know what the heck was in it. They didn't know the terminology. They didn't know the language. They didn't know what sections were what. And so it was my goal, and still my goal, to help our small business startups understand how you need a good foundation to start your business. It doesn't have to be, a business plan with 1,000 pages, because nobody's going to read that. But the reason I do what I do is to demystify the whole process. So as I went through the process myself, when I registered my business and got my license and went through school and all that, could understand why it seemed to be a daunting task for most. So as I went through my years and expanded my business, it started as pen to paper because I would always put pen to paper to write a business plan. And over the years, it has developed into the Business Vision and Development Center. And I chose those words particularly to represent who we are, who I am, and why I do it. So I want to tell you, let's get to the nuts and bolts of why I do what I do. Because I want the people in my community or people in communities like mine to be able to realize their dream of entrepreneurship without feeling overwhelmed with the paperwork and the structure that has to come with it. It's all necessary. It is all necessary, but I also understand that entrepreneurs are sometimes technicians. They just want to do what they do. They want to do the hair. They want to sell their crafts. They want to paint. They want to play music. They want to write a book. They want to do some leadership. They want to teach. All of those things. I understand that because I've been there. But when you pull back the curtain, there has to be a foundation. And that's why I do what I do. They like and want to and will hold your hand so that that idea that's inside of you blossoms into a business that is viable, fruitful, and generates you some revenue. Because at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. Taking your idea, your purpose, and creating some revenue for you, and hopefully creates a legacy for those behind you. Well, with that being said, if you're interested in discussing this further, feel free to email me at info@thebvdcenter.org or go to our website at www.thebvdcenter.org. Click Get Started and submit. I'll have your information and we can talk about it. We can talk through the strategies that will take you from your idea to full entrepreneurship. And I hope to see and hear from you soon. Like, share, and subscribe so you don't miss a thing.